Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss about today we will discuss about the then ATM, will be discussed, and then security issues in the session layer. Yeah, so we will now discuss it. Start with the now I am going to share a PDF. Just wait. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Just wait. I am sharing. Just wait. Only two persons are connected right now. So now I start with the document which we have discussed last time. So is it visible to all of you? ये सभी को दिख रहा है?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Now
Yes.
अभी दिख रहा
visible,
है ये
sir.
सभी को? Okay, so we have discussed these things, that is the process to process delivery that belongs to UDP, TCP and SCTP. ठीक है? तो इसमें हम लोगों ने बताया था कि the process to process delivery belong to the transport layer, and जैसे हमने आपको डायग्राम शेयर किया था. दिस इज द टाइप्स ऑफ डेटा डिलीवरीज बेसिकली, और it was also included in your tutorial sheet 4. This question is also included into tutorial sheet 4. You can go through that. So this diagram is important, means it defines what are the different types of data deliveries for different layers. Clear? So if we talk about data link layer, it is node to node type delivery. If we are talking about network layer, it is host to host delivery. Then if we talk about transport layer, it is a process to process delivery. Here you can see in between the hosts we are connected with the routers, and the host and routers are individually belong to a node. Clear? So if we communicate with the host with the router, or router to router, it is a node to node communication. If you communicate with the processes that belong to the end to end side, clear, that is in yellow color marks, so it is a process to process communication. Yes, it's from one end to another end communication. And if you communicate with the host, means source computer and destination computer, or server, source and server, and destination and client, suppose, so it is a type of host to host communication. Clear? Otherwise it is a node to node communication. So these all things have been discussed. Now these I have told you that this is the type of this is the diagram where you can see in this TCP IP suite, basically the UDP and TCP and SCTP are exactly included into the transport layer. This is what the TCP IP suite, where you can say this transport layer is included. Clear? Where SCTP, TCP, UDP is there. Clear? Now this is user datagram protocol. It is a connectionless protocol. This is unreliable protocol basically. It does not add anything to the service of IP expect to provide process to process communication instead of host to host communication. ठीक है, तो host to host communication के बजाय process to process communication को involve करता है. ठीक है, so this is what well known ports used in the TCP UDP हमने आपको डिस्कस किया था. हर एक पोर्ट जो है नंबर्स दिए हुए हैं. They belong to different protocols and they are having some different description regarding the individual protocols. So this is the UDP format, you can see. Clear? There is a header and data. Header is further classified into source port number, destination port number, total length, and checksum. So these are what different type of uh, fields belong to UDP protocol, UDP system. Clear? Now, if we talk about further discussion in this domain, clear? So if you calculate the UDP data length, clear? So you can calculate the UDP data length also. It is calculated by the IP length minus IP headers length. Clear? तो जो भी हमारे पास कंप्लीट पैकेट है उसमें से अगर हम आईपी लेंथ ले लें और उसमें से आईपी हेडर्स लेंथ को माइनस कर दें, देन वी विल गेट द यूडीपी लेंथ. क्लियर? You can see this is the data length, this is the header length. Header length is of 8 byte and data length is of this is what the addition of these two. Clear? So rest of the data and first one is the header length, that is what 8 byte. Clear? So you can calculate the UDP length from this IP length minus IP headers length. So this is what the pseudo header for checksum calculation. Checksum is it is used for the error detection and correction. Clear? So pseudo header basically belong to the this sky blue color box that belong to the 32-bit source IP address, 32-bit destination IP address, then all zeros, 8-bit protocol of 17 bits, then 16-bit UDP total length. Clear? So these all are the part of the pseudo header in the UDP, and then last one is the header only, which we have discussed in the uh, two slide before. Clear? So the last one is the data that must include the padding bits also. Clear? Now we have discussed about the TCP. Clear? Last time UDP we have covered, so we are discussing about now the TCP. TCP is a exactly connection oriented protocol. It creates a virtual connection between two TCPs to send data. दो TCPs virtually connect होते हैं आपस में data send करने के लिए. In addition, TCP uses flow and error control mechanism at the transport layer. Clear? So we will cover these topics in this domain, that is TCP services, TCP feature segment, a TCP connection, flow control, and error control. Clear? So now you can see these are well known port for the TCP that is used by the TCP. You can see जैसे हम लोगों ने UDP के लिए well known ports पढ़े थे, वैसे ये TCP के लिए हैं. 7 port है तो वो ICO के लिए है, that belong to the ICO protocol. And the description is regarding that echo is what echoes a received datagram back to the sender. इको क्या होता है, जैसे साउंड में इको सिस्टम होता है, साउंड क्या होती है, बैक होती है, रिफ्लेक्ट होती है. दिस इज अ टाइप ऑफ इको सिस्टम वेयर द पैकेट विल बी बैक. क्लियर? और datagram will be back. Now the discard will be the port 9. Discard any datagram that is received. तो डिस्कार्ड का मतलब ये है कि जो पैकेट रिसीव हो रहा है या जो डेटाग्राम रिसीव हो रहा है रिसीवर पे, उसको डिस्कार्ड करना. If it is what it is corrupted or anything else belong to that. Clear? So any other problem related to that, तो उसको हम डिस्कार्ड कर सकता है क्लाइंट या जो जहाँ पे भी वो रिसीव हो रहा है. Clear? Now the next one is the user that belong to the port 11. It is the active users. So these are having some different port. There are some different ports belong to individual protocols having some description in the TCP domain. Clear? So now this is the how the stream of delivery takes place. So we are having a sending process and the receiving process, that is process to process communication, that belong to these TCP protocol. Exactly, this belong to the transport layer protocol. So we are having this TCP connection at the sending process and TCP on the receiving process. So we are having a pipe form structure, a cylindrical structure where the data is coming and the data is outgoing from the receiving process. Okay. So this is what the buffers, basically sending and receiving buffers are there. Clear? Buffers exactly belong to the memory. Clear? Which is exactly having the queues, or we can say having the slots for the data bytes, data which is transferring. Clear? So the complete data is exactly divided into the segments. Clear? And the individual segment is sent one by one respectively from the sending process to, that is from sending and to receiving end. Clear? So the connection are numbered by TCP. उसको एक नंबरिंग दी जाती है, जो जो डेटा ट्रांसफर होती है टीसीपी कनेक्शन में. क्लियर? सो द नंबरिंग स्टार्ट विथ रैंडमली जनरेटेड नंबर. आप कोई भी एक रैंडम जनरेटेड नंबर से नंबरिंग पे स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. क्लियर? नाउ इफ यू सी, these are the segments with the sequence numbers. Clear? For each segment, these are the individual segment for the with the sequence number. So the value of the sequence number field of a of the segment number field of a segment defines the number of the first not clear. So now if you go to the acknowledgement field, if you talk about the acknowledgement field, so the acknowledgement field exactly so acknowledgement field exactly belong to a segment defines the number of the next byte a party expect to receive. This acknowledgement क्या होगा, जब सेंडर कुछ भेजेगा तो acknowledgement उसको रिसीव भी होगा सेंडर की तरफ, रिसीविंग साइड से. क्लियर? So it is expect to receive, the acknowledgement number is cumulative. Clear? Expect to receive party उसको acknowledgement receive हुआ and this will be, there will be number with the particular acknowledgement, जिससे ये कंफर्म होगा कि पैकेट सक्सेसफुली रिसीव हुआ या नहीं हुआ. दिस इज द टीसीपी सेगमेंट फॉर्मेट. यू कैन सी this is very important. Clear? It is having a header with the data. Clear? So now there is a source port address, there is a destination port address. Then you can see we are having header and data. Header is further classified into the source port address of 16-bit, destination port address. Clear? And then we are having sequence number of 32 bit, then acknowledgement number of 32 bits, then header length is of 4 bits. Clear? So इसके बाद reserve bits हैं, that is 6 bits के reserve bit है. Header length is of 4 bits, then URG, acknowledgement, PSH, RST, synchronization, pin, ये सारी जो है individual fields हैं. Clear? Belong to the next of reserved bit, that is of 6 bits. उसके बाद नीचे checksum है, that is for error and recovery, error control and detection. इसके बाद that there is a window size of 16 bits, then urgent pointer is there for 16 bits, and options and paddings are there. So individual blocks can be defined individually. So we will share you the content regarding the individual fields. Clear? So you can study from there. Clear? Now if you go through the control field. Clear? The control field belongs to the basically urgent pointer, that is URG. Clear? Then acknowledgement is there, that is ACK, then PSH, request for push. Clear? इसके बाद आपका RST है, RST request reset to the connection. Then SYN is for synchronization sequence number. FIN is for terminating the connection. तो जो भी यहाँ पे ये रेड कलर में आपको दिख रहे थे, ये सारे के मीनिंग्स यही हैं. क्लियर? So this is for urgent, then acknowledgement, then request to push, then reset the connection, the synchronization, then terminate the connection. Clear? So these are the exactly control fields. So the description of flags in the control fields. So इनका कंट्रोल फील्ड में जो फ्लैग्स हैं उनका डिस्क्रिप्शन भी देख लीजिए. फ्लैग्स आपकी यही थे, अर्जेंट, एक्नॉलेजमेंट, पीएसएच. तो सबका जो है सिंक्रोनाइजेशन इज यूज फॉर द एग्जैक्टली avoid the mismatching of the data. Clear? So synchronization of sender and receiver is important. Clear? So which the data communicated by the sender is successfully received on the receiver side. Clear? Now this is how the connection establishment using three-way handshaking. Clear? This is the type of three-way handshaking. You can see we are having the client and server. Clear? So a client sending the data when it is actively open. So some portion of the screen is correct. Just wait, I'm again sharing. Okay, so if it is a connection establishment using three-way handshaking, if you see, now we are having the client and server. Clear? So the client exactly sending the sequence number, that is 8000 belong to a packet. Clear? Or the message, and it is sending exactly the data to the server. Clear? It is now passive open now, so it will again send the acknowledgement. So both are synchronized. You can see the sin is also placed on the bottom of the packet, so both are synchronized. So when the client request to the server, so server receive the message regarding the request and is open their exactly port for the receiving of that particular packet. So it is just receiving this packets and then acknowledge this packet. So with the synchronization plus acknowledgement, it is acknowledging for this packet, and then when the clients receive this acknowledgement. Clear? So it gets acknowledgement with the 8001 number. So it just confirms that the packet is successfully received on the server side. So now for this purpose, to confirm the server that the packet is successfully received, I have got the successful confirmation from your side. It again sends the acknowledgement to the server at this side. Clear? So this is a type of three-way communication where the proper transferring of data takes place. Clear? This is a type of three-way communication. इसको handshaking भी बोलते हैं. That is very important. तो पहले सेंडर जो है डेटा भेजेगा, रिक्वेस्ट भेजेगा, सॉरी क्लाइंट रो रिक्वेस्ट भेजेगा सर्वर की तरफ, देन सर्वर एक्सेप्ट द रिक्वेस्ट एंड accept the request and tell the client to send the packet now. Clear? So when it send the packet now with the same synchronization with the server, then server again acknowledge to the client with the acknowledgement number. Clear? So you can see when it acknowledge the client, then client again actively open. So now it is receiving the acknowledgement and then again send a revert acknowledgement, which exactly belong to, यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं जब client जो again server को acknowledge करता है, तो the sequence number and the acknowledgement number, आपका देखिए sequence number will be suppose 8000 and the acknowledgement number is what, 15001. Clear? So it is again acknowledged to the server that the packet is successfully, the communication is successfully done. Clear? Regarding the packet. So this is a type of three-way handshaking. SYN segments cannot carry data, but it consumes one sequence number. तो synchronization है, वो कभी data carry नहीं करता, केवल ये one sequence number को consume करता है. SYN plus acknowledge segment cannot carry data, but does consume one sequence number. Acknowledgement segments, if carrying no data, consumes no sequence number. देखिए अगर डेटा ना होता तो एक्नॉलेजमेंट सीक्वेंस में कोई भी सीक्वेंस नंबर भी नहीं होता, लेकिन चूंकि डेटा कैरी कर रहा था इसलिए एसी की का भी एक नंबर था, एक्नॉलेजमेंट नंबर था. क्लियर? Now this is how the data transfer takes place. You can see the client and server exactly communicated with each other. Clear? So so this is how the data communication takes place. You can see the client sending the data to the server. Clear? And the server exactly acknowledge the data. Clear? And then again there is a re-acknowledged by the client to the server, and the communication takes place. So this is a type of data transferring scheme. Now connection termination using three-way handshaking. Now how connection get terminated using three-way handshaking when the communication is done. Clear? So you can see this is how the connection gets terminated. So the client exactly send the active close signal now, not active open. Clear? Last time जब से communication packet sending का हो रहा था, then client was actively open. Now when the connection is going to terminate, it will send a active close message exactly. Clear? To the server. The server will also respond with the passive close message to the client with the acknowledgement, that is x plus 1. Clear? You can see the sequence number was x and the acknowledgement was y on the client side. And when the server sends the message, clear, regarding passive close signals, then the sequence number is now the acknowledgement number of the client side, and the acknowledgement is now the sequence plus one number at the server side. So acknowledgement is now x plus 1. यहाँ पे sequence number x था, यहाँ acknowledgement y था, यहाँ sequence y हो गया. Clear? So it is again sends the uh, message to the client side. Clear? Now you can see the fin is exactly used for the termination of connection. ये हमने बताया था, this fin is exactly used for the termination of connection. So fin packet is transmission, a fin request is sending to the server, that is belong to the termination of the connection. Clear? Now it is again when it got the fin plus acknowledgement message, then it again with send the acknowledgement. Clear? With the acknowledgement that belong to the sequence plus 1. The sequence was y in the previous packet from the server side to the client, and it adds the acknowledgement with the sequence plus 1, that is y plus 1, and the sequence number will be now x. Clear? So this is how the handshaking takes place for the termination. तो दो handshaking process, एक termination के लिए और एक आपका हो गया communication के लिए, termination के लिए. तो there are two types of handshaking. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, तो handshaking is very important. डायग्राम भी important है ये. Clear? इसको three way handshaking बोलते हैं TCP में. The fin plus acknowledgement segments exactly consumes one sequence number if it does not carry data. Clear? This is what the half close exactly process. Half close का मतलब होता है कि not completely closed. This is half close. Clear? So when the client server exactly communicate, there is the active close signal now, which is transmitting the fin sequence here with the sequence number x and the acknowledgement y. And then the server again acknowledge this particular request with the sequence y minus 1. You can see here the acknowledgement was y, then the sequence number is y minus 1. And the acknowledgement will be what? Acknowledgement is x plus 1, that is sequence plus 1. So it is again received to the client side. Now you can see in the highlighted portion, the data, you can see the data segments from the server to the client and the acknowledgement from the client to the server. यही हमारा half close है exactly. Clear? Now the passive close will be sent by the server, and the respective acknowledgement regarding that signal will be sent by the client. So it is a type of half close system for the TCP transport layer protocol. Clear? Uh, this is sliding window. Clear? Sliding window आप लोगों ने पढ़ा भी है, sliding window protocol system. Clear? So this is the type of sliding window. where the complete window gets slides from one end to another end regarding opening and closing. Clear? So, which whatever data you want to close, you can just pick that particular portion of the data in the sliding window, and if some data get transferring, तो उस window को आप select कर सकते हैं. Clear? So this is a sliding window protocol. The sliding window is just used to make transmission more efficient as well as to control the flow of data so that the destination does not become overwhelmed with the data. मतलब डेस्टिनेशन आपका कभी भी ओवर ट्रैफिक नहीं आएगा डेस्टिनेशन पे, क्योंकि आप पर्टिकुलर रेंज को सिलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, उसी को ट्रांसमिट कर रहे हैं, तो कंप्लीट डेटा एक बार में रिसीवर पे नहीं जा रहा है. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं कि रिसीवर पूरे डेटा को सारा रिसीव कर रहा है, सो रिसीवर विल नेवर बी ओवरवेल्म्ड with the data. So sliding window is make efficient that make it is used to make the transmission more efficient as well as to control the flow of data so that the destination does not overwhelm. Clear? With the data. So TCP sliding windows are byte oriented exactly. So now these are some numericals regarding that. So it can be discussed in the tutorial also. Clear? Now this is how the communication is done with the sliding window. You can't see. Clear? Sorry, you can see this is how the communication is done with the sliding window. Now some points regarding TCP sliding windows are there, that the size of windows is the lesser of RWND and CWND. Clear? So you can see clear. Now उसके बाद जो next point है, the source does not have to send a full windows worth of data. The window can be opened or closed by the receiver but should not be shrunk. A destination can send a acknowledgement at the any time as long as it does not result in a shrinking windows. Clear? And the last one is the receiver can temporarily shut down the window. The sender, however, can always send a segment of 1 byte after the window is shut down. Exactly, this belongs to this is there is a scheme statements are given here. So these all about exactly the TCP. When next one is the ये देखिए फास्ट रिट्रांसमिशन में क्या होता है, पैकेट लॉस हो जाता है. You can see if I talk about the normal transmission, then fast type of transmission. In type of normal transmission, clear. Now, if we suppose transmitting temporarily, clear. So it will be some out of order type of delivery, and in that particular case, the data will get lost. Clear. So out of delivery means the process doesn't guarantee to the successful transmission of the data. Clear. So मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ इसमें. So acknowledgement segments do not consume sequence number and are not acknowledged. Where in modern implementation, a retransmission occurs if the retransmission timer expires or 3 duplicate acknowledgement segments have arrived. Retransmission generally कब आता है? जब modern implementation में जब हमारे पास retransmission times expire हो जाता है और 3 से ज्यादा डुप्लीकेट एक्नॉलेजमेंट रिसीवर भेजता है या सर्वर भेजता है क्लाइंट की तरफ. ठीक है, तो उस केस में रिट्रांसमिशन होता है, अदरवाइज रिट्रांसमिशन नहीं होता है, क्योंकि रिट्रांसमिशन का मतलब ओवरफ्लो ऑफ द ट्रैफिक. क्लियर? इट जस्ट ऐड द additional traffic into the system. So no transmission timer is set for an acknowledgement segment. So data may arrive out of order, temporarily stored by the receiving TCP, and TCP guarantees that no out of order segment is delivered to the process. Clear? Now if you see this, this exactly belong to the normal operation, where you can see there is a 500 millisecond delay is also there for the back acknowledgement clear from the client end, and also there is a less than 500 millisecond timer is set for the re-acknowledge. So you can say this is the normal operation where the packet is getting successfully transferred without any issue, clear, with the particular delay time, clear. Now if we talk about the loss segment, you can see there is a loss segment, so the packet is get lost over here, clear. So packet is lost over here, so there is a gap that belong to the out of delivery, clear. So the packet gets lost. So it is sending the sequence with this 501 to 600 with the acknowledgement X, clear. It is stored in the receiving buffer. Now at this point, now the this again send the sequence number, that is 601 to 700 with the acknowledgement X to the receiver side. A receiver again stores in the receiving buffer like this in the second place here. Now it suppose acknowledge, तो acknowledge जब ये करेगा तो acknowledge करने के बाद जैसे यहाँ acknowledgement receive हुआ, acknowledge इसने 701 से किया नंबरिंग से सीक्वेंस नंबर से, देन यहाँ पे क्या हुआ इसको जो है चूंकि दो पैकेट इसने सेंड किए थे, सपोज दो सीक्वेंस नंबर सेंड किए थे, तो रिगार्डिंग उसको एक एक्नॉलेज रिसीव हुआ उस टाइम पे, तो ये इस केस में क्या होगा, ये जो सेंडर समझेगा कि नाउ द पैकेट गेट लॉस्ट, क्योंकि यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं आप, दिस इज अगेन रिप्लाइड विद द सीक्वेंस नंबर दैट इज 701 to 800 रिगार्डिंग दिस एक्नॉलेजमेंट, क्लियर, जो भी इसको रिसीव हुआ। तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, व्हेन इट इज गोज टू द आउट ऑफ ऑर्डर डिलीवरी देन द पैकेट गेट लॉस्ट इन द मिडवे, clear. So the packet get lost in the midway. Now it again sends the sequence number with the 801 to 900 with the acknowledgement X, and then is again acknowledged with the 701, clear. So there is, you can see here is a gap created, क्योंकि ये वाला पैकेट जो यहाँ लॉस हो गया है, इसका ये यहाँ पे रिसीव नहीं हुआ, so the gap is created again, clear. So it is called exactly out of order delivery. So when it again sends the retransmit the packet, or so it is acknowledged with the 701, then it is again resent, and then it is further acknowledgement, so the process may get communicated, but there is a gap created in this portion at the receiver side, so the segment get lost, clear. So this may be handled this should be handled in the particular type of a scheme. So the receiver TCP delivers only order data to the process, not non-order data. Clear? So this is what, this is the fast transmission. Fast transmission में क्या होता है? Most of the time packet get lost. ये देख सकते हैं आप, यहाँ पे packet loss हो गया है. This is the fast transmission where the packet get lost. Clear? Now after TCP and UDP, the TCP is now over here. Clear? We will discuss about you can follow the SCTP also over here, that is belong to the transport layer protocol, that is next to one. So this will be discussed after the chapter get completed, clear. इसको हम लोग discuss कर लेंगे. So that TCP and UDP that belong to your so if you talk about the ATM layer, ATM is basically have you heard about ATM system in the this particular
Yes, sir.
okay. Can anyone explain what is ATM layer? What do you understand by ATM?
Asynchronous transfer mode.
Okay. How can you define? Is there anyone can define?
इसमें सर छोटे छोटे पैकेट में डेटा जाता है।
Have you,
ये कनेक्शन ओरिएंटेड होती है। इसमें 3 लेयर होती हैं, फिजिकल लेयर, एटीएम लेयर और एटीएम एप्लीकेशन लेयर। या
okay, okay.
एप्लीकेशन लेयर होती है, ये 48 बाइट्स की होती है।
Anyone else? So ये मतलब you all have studied about this. You all have studied about the ATM layer. All of you are getting my voice. Okay. So all of you are also requested to rejoin the session. Clear? As the session going to end, at the session was going to end, so kindly, you all are requested to kindly rejoin again. Clear? All of you are getting my voice? आवाज आ रही है मेरी सभी को?
यस सर, यस सर।
Okay, okay. So I'm just sharing you the ATM system. Just wait. One more question is there, that is the session layer design issue. That that is a type of assignment to all of you. So you all need to cover that particular topic. That is a session layer design issue. Clear? ये आप सभी के लिए है. तो इसको आप लोग we all will study about this topic. Is it clear? Am I clear to all of you? Hello? Am I clear to all of you? Regarding session layer design issue, you all need to uh, discuss with yourself. Clear? अपने आप से आप इसको इस टॉपिक को कवर करेंगे. Clear? That is the last topic of this chapter, the unit, that is session layer design issue. So what are the design issues relevant to related to that particular transmission? Clear? हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है सभी को? All of you are getting my voice? हेलो. So I am just sharing you. देख सकते हैं आप, मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ इसमें. If you go through the session layer design issue, clear? Is it clear to all of you? ये सभी को दिख रहा है? ये सभी को दिख रहा है जो अभी मैंने शेयर किया है?
यस सर।
So these are some design issues in the session layer. Clear? So if you go through this, means session layer is one of the 7 layer in the OSI model. Clear? So the network layer lacks some services such as establishment of basically physical layer, data link layer, and network layer lacks some services such as establishment of a session between communication system. Clear? This is the managed by session layer, which basically behaves as a dialog controller between communicating systems. Clear? So now we have some issues basically with the designing. Clear? And we can say with the transmission of the packet.